Well, hello to you and you and you. Welcome to another program, Transforming Lives One at a Time. Well, it's a very hot day in beautiful Tobago, in the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, our topic is Men Influencing Men, the Father's Day edition. On set with me are two fathers, and we will chat a bit about some of their experiences as fathers and, of course, their thoughts and sentiments about fatherhood. Firstly, I have Mr. Jelani Bramble. Mr. Bramble is a dedicated father of two, a husband, an outstanding national table tennis coach, and also an electrician and linesman. Secondly, we have Mr. Elton Richardson, who is a retired businessman and former teacher. He's a father of 7 and proud grandfather of 13. He is a member of the Gideon's International Tobago chapter and currently serves as Vice President of TTAP Tobago, the Corals. Well, gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Transforming Lives One at a Time. Men Influencing Men, the Father's Day edition. Happy to have you.
Same here. Happy to be here.
Yes, well, first of all, let me say a happy Father's Day to you both as we celebrate all over the world the occasion of Father's Day. Let me also take the opportunity to wish my father, Mr. Dianne Mcletchie, a very happy Father's Day. And may I add, he's actually the best daddy in the world. I know. Yeah. I know we'll have a little kind of thing there, but the best dad in the world? Oh, yes. And of course, Father's Day greetings going out to all of our fathers and men folk right here in Trinidad and Tobago and of course, worldwide. Well, gentlemen, as thoughts resonate on fatherhood and the roles and responsibilities that comes with it, we cannot help but reflect on how very crucial our fathers are to children, families, and of course to the society. So first things first, I'm going down a little memory lane here. What was it like when you first became a father? Were you scared at the thought of taking that responsibility of this little person, this brand new human being? I'm going to start with you, Mr. Richardson.
Thank you, Dianne. You sent me back some years. Well, I have been a father for over 53 years, over 54 years. And the fact that I was born into a huge family, as you mentioned, it gave me an advantage where children are concerned, you know. I was looking forward to being a father, definitely. And at age 23, I became a father. It was something that was very exciting for me, very exciting. And I had a lot of support at the time. That was a big plus.
Right.
It was very exciting. I can't begin to explain what it was like, but I looked forward to it with eager anticipation.
Yes.
And the support and so on was there very much. That helped a lot.
Very well.
Yes.
Mr. Bramble?
Well, as Mr. Richardson expressed, the excitement was there. At first, a bit nervous,
yes,
because the responsibility levels, they increase based on what you are accustomed doing.
Yes.
Right? You have this whole response to be responsible for this one person, and you have to set a tone or set the mark where they would look up to you for.
Yes.
So all the thoughts came in, and then it was like, well, you have people around.
Right, support.
Right? You have a support system, right? You have family, you have persons who give you advice. So, and that nervousness just went, and it became to excitement.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. What is your mindset as a father as you conduct, the business of taking care of your children and family? How do you view your responsibility?
All right. As I mentioned, the fact that I was born into a huge family, it gave me a sort of a framework, if you call it that. Responsibility was big in our family. My father was a disciplined type of person, set ground rules, and I couldn't help but follow what I would have learned from him.
Right.
So I went about it in a sort of business-like manner, if you call it that. Most of us were born into business.
Yes.
So I had a business-like approach to it. And I keep mentioning the support system that we had. It was tremendous.
Okay.
We're talking about siblings, my siblings.
Yes.
Talking about, the whole, my parents and my wife's parents were all involved. And that lent a type of support that is rare now.
Yes.
It's rare now because that extended family system really helped me tremendously.
Very well.
Well, for me, it was a lot of adapting, right? Because I was always a busybody person.
Right.
Right?
Always on the move.
Always on the move. Always have something to do, somewhere
Yes.
to go. So the mindset had to change to incorporate the responsibilities of fatherhood.
Yes.
Right? To help take care, to help mentor, to help show that love and that support to this young life. So there was moments of adapting, moments where you had to say, okay, I won't be able to go to this particular event or
Yes.
this particular program or whatever it is,
Yes.
because I need that bonding time, that time to spend at home or to take care of the little one.
Right.
So it was an adaptable time for that period of time. So I guess business wasn't as usual.
Yes.
So like everything in life, there's change, and change is always constant.
Of
So you just have to
course.
adapt to that change.
Yes.
So that was basically it.
Because when I think about it, the role of a father in terms of you being the one where more or less the onus is on you to be the one to ensure that your children's needs are met every time, all the time. And when you look at it, it's a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
And now getting into fatherhood, because sometimes you would see other persons, okay, well, yes, daddy this, we go in here, we go in there. But when you are actually in it now, you now start to, as it were, experience what other fathers have been experiencing. And it's like, oh, okay, so usually I would lie late on such and such, but now this baby, I have to be there to be able to give that kind of extra, that added support. And sometimes we take these roles for granted because, you'd have the mothers there. But of course, at that time, the mothers just went through this whole ordeal and you have to be there to try to be supportive. And I must say hats off to the men. I must say hats off to the men who have been standing in there, with their families, faithfully committed, ensuring that everything and all their needs are met. So, hats off to you men.
Thank you.
I just want you to share with us what this journey of fatherhood has been and continues to be like for you. Well, Mr. Richardson, I know that all your children are now adults. So this will be heading way down memory lane for you. Yeah. And of course, Mr. Bramble, your children are quite still young. So share with us, what has it been like for you?
All right, well, you said you were right in saying I've been a father for a long time, but I was looking forward to it with eager anticipation, and I approached it knowing that I'm going to say the right way here. I was the second one of my family to get married and have kids. So it was a novelty kind of thing for my siblings and so on. So they all were there to help. It was a tremendous, tremendous achievement for me, more than anything else, I would say. Seeing my first daughter, she's now 50-something, 55, I think, 54,
wow.
Right? But that was a tremendous, tremendous joy, both for me, for my wife, Joan, for my I remember my father was excited seeing her. It was as though he had more joy than I did.
Yes.
But I look back and I look at those days, he was fascinated seeing her using her feet to control her ball. I don't know, it was so one of those memories that stuck with me right through.
Yes.
And seeing how it impressed, how it caused him to react in a way that I didn't see often.
Yes.
So that was one of the most joyous moments for me. Of course, with the addition of the other children and so on, joy was there also. But that first one,
Yeah.
Kimmery, it brought real joy to me. That's hard to describe it words.
Yes.
Hard to describe it words.
Wow.
And then to the fact that, oh gosh, my father always wanted a girl.
Right.
My father had 11 children, 2 girls. So I felt a bit extra
Pressure?
joy. No, joy having brought a girl.
Oh, okay. Right.
A girl. At the time, maybe I wouldn't have mind having a boy first, because being in business and so on, we were in business
Right.
early. I always felt that the boy would play a greater role in business. But the girl, I wouldn't trade her for anything.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Bramble.
Right, so that experience, as you said, as you rightfully said, my kids are still young. One is 4, one is 8. So going back down that road, that journey, from then till now, it has been and it still is a learning experience in some states, right? You learn a lot of things. You have to develop patience.
Yeah.
Especially with dealing with kids in
At
this
those
new
ages.
era, and not only ages,
Right.
in the new era that we have.
Yes.
I remember back in our days, it was a bit difficult, different, I should say, not difficult, but different.
Yes.
Right. Kids back then, you wasn't going to test your parents too much, but no.
Oh yes.
boy.
Oh yes.
These kids, they try you, and they want to see how far they can get with you.
Yes.
So it's patience is needed, right? And it will be continued as you go with it. But also, it shows, or it taught me, besides the patience, maturity grew.
Okay.
Because you have to sit down, and analyze, assess,
Right.
and also try to bring guidance to this young person.
Yes.
Right? So I have 2 boys.
Right.
And energetic more than me. So accidents happen.
Yes.
Right? So you have to now deal with accidents and see how is the best resolve to help benefit them and help them
Yes.
to learn from the situation.
Okay.
So it is a continuous learning experience, a continuous growing experience,
Yes.
and a continuous teaching experience,
Right.
because you have to keep on impacting knowledge
Yes.
onto these kids.
Of course. Of course, as you rightfully said, this is a whole new era when
Right.
before you would have been a bit afraid to ask mommy or daddy something. These children are coming out and they're asking you, and when you tell them, okay, this is what I want you to, yes, but why? They want to know. So you have to explain to them, okay, well, the reason I'm telling you this is because if you continue along this line, persons, when you get big and you start to work, they would be able to trust you because you found someone's thing and you brought it home to mommy or daddy, or you took it to the teacher. So they need, it's like a ball by ball commentary with them.
Right.
So as you rightfully said, patience. They say patience is a virtue. It is said that patience is a virtue, definitely. Well, as you know, when we look at our fathers, and I'm even thinking back, I'm going down memory lane too, because I'm the last of 4. Yes, I'm the baby in the family. But when you look at daddies and stuff, you actually look at them as this kind of superhero. My daddy could do what somebody else cannot do. My daddy could probably climb up that tree there. My daddy could pelt a ball and it pass. You think Brian Lara could bat? That my daddy could, that kind of. So I am sure, because children always want daddy to do some kind of impossible things. So I want you to share a little memory here on how that playtime and bonding time is so important for both father and child. And some little memory, something that you remembered that will make us chuckle a bit.
I must admit, we didn't have much playtime as I would have liked, because we were in business. I was in business,
Right.
really. But the few times that we did have playtime, where we would have gone maybe to on vacation somewhere, even at home and so on. I try to be as involved as possible when playing is concerned and so on. We did have much fun with the playing and so on. And some of it, I'm sorry to put on the spot here. Some of it was memorable. Mm-hmm. Going to the beach, going to guest house, going to a beach house and so on.
Right.
At times and so on. But because I was involved in the business most of the time, it was not as widespread as I would have liked it to be.
Okay.
You know? Notwithstanding that, and I say this often, I'm not here really as an expert on fathering or expert in that area. But I always remember the quote I heard. Whatever little I can share today on being a father, being the ideal father, whatever little I can share, it will go a long way. Whatever little, if I can, if I can help somebody along the way, then my living will not be in vain.
Of course.
I know there are a lot more that I could share right now.
Yes.
I'm a little distracted.
I know it. Well, it's memory lane. It's memory lane. It's memory lane. But you
so many memories and truth, But somehow, and it's not easy to have had that number of children for me.
Right.
And not have things that we could pull out. But as I said, most of the time is spent in the business and so on.
Yes.
The children were never neglected.
Right.
My wife was very helpful in that part of it. I give God thanks for her. We had a lot of support from other uncles and aunts and so on.
Yes.
I give God thanks for that support. But that's what I could share right now.
Yes, and that created a greater bond within you and the children.
Yes, the bond was there. The bond was there. It was there very strong. Some of it, you have to forgive me again, because I'm trying to.
Yes. Well, I know it's memory lane,
And
but that is fine. We will forgive you.
But as I said, it was there.
Wonderful. Well, what was most important is that you found that time. In spite of your busy schedule, you found that time to create that space and play time and create that kind of bonding experience. So you share with...
One of the things, just came to me.
Yeah, sure.
On 2 occasions, I would have had, oh boy, I've heard one of my sons, twice, 2 of them anyway, make a remark and say, when I grow up, I want to be just like my daddy. That is the strongest, most powerful thing for me. Wow. In terms of, just hearing a son especially, say, when I grow up, I want to be just like you.
Wow.
And that came about, oh gosh, forgive me.
Yes.
That came about, just digressing a little bit. One of my sons was in training at the fire services. And I went to visit him a day, and he said something to that effect. He was recalling all the hard times I would have put him through. And I got emotional when he said that to me. All the hard times I would have put him through, in terms of getting up and getting up on early and being there in the stores, whatever it was.
Yes.
And he had to go through that in training.
Wow.
And when he said it to me, it made me very emotional. Very much, Daddy, I want to thank you for the hard times you put me through.
Wow.
And I'm saying this as an example for other parents. When you're being difficult, when being hard with your children, instilling values and discipline in them, know that at the end, it will be for their benefit.
Definitely.
They will appreciate it.
Definitely. Well, at this time, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will hear Mr. Bramble's response, but we're going to take a short break and we will be right back. You're viewing Transforming Lives One at a Time. The topic, Men Influencing Men, the Father's Day edition. Stay with us.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor, or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center, Store Bay Local Road, opposite the Bonnecourt Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic, and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters, and yes, windows. Plus, a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Hi, I am Dianne, host of Transforming Lives One at a Time, and I would like to introduce you to our brand new segment, Good Vibes, Good News. And this is where you have the opportunity to highlight your good vibes, good news with us. You could send your 90-second video to our WhatsApp number 1-868-701-2099. That's 1-868-701-2099. Let's hear some of the good news that we never hear about. Good vibes, good news, inspiring hope, celebrating wins, truly grateful.
NSL School and Office Supplies for all your school uniforms, textbooks, stationery, and craft supplies. Located obliquely opposite Stumpy's Bypass, Canaan. Also offering printing, photocopying, and much more. Give them a call today, 615-6595, 477-5905, or email them at nslbookstore@gmail.com.
Welcome back to the program. Today, our topic, Men Influencing Men, the Father's Day edition. My guests in studio today, two fathers, Mr. Elton Richardson and Mr. Jelani Bramble. So just before the break, we were talking about how important that playtime is and the bonding time. And we had to get your response, Mr. Bramble.
Thank you again, Dianne. Right. That time where you bond with the kids, it is very important both for you as the parents and the kids, because they now see that opportunity where they can come to you and have fun.
Yes.
Right? They can relax. It's not a tense environment, so it's a relaxing environment where they can relax, they can unleash. So if they want to climb up on their back or jump, all the wildness they want to do, that part. And then you have to help them, it encourages them to grow, to have that stability, that trust in you as the parent also. Right. So that, and you have to help it with, if anything happens, it's for them to be able to come to you.
Yes. To
say, well, okay, Dad, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. So I think that talking and bonding time is important for them. Right. I remember a time we was going to the park, to one of the play parks, and as we reach by the play park, and they come out because they love to play.
Yes.
As they come out and they run to the slides and the swings, rain.
Oh my gosh.
And everybody in the park left. I was like you could see disappointment on the face because there's no reach. So I was like, hey, this look like a passing cloud.
Right.
Yeah, the sun. Wait, me a passing cloud. I said, oh, wait, I mean, the rain ain't going to fall for too long. Right. So let me wait and see what takes place. Yes. About 15 minutes, the rain is up. I was like, hey, I have a jersey in the car. I'm going to take my jersey, my good jersey. Yes. And I wipe the slides and wipe the swings and I see where they're going. Go and have fun. And I went with them and it was that experience that they loved it because we waited and they alone was in the park at that time. Right. Nobody else. Yes. So they up and down and they had a lot of fun and I was happy to see that on them. Yes. So it's important. Yes.
And it's even more important to kind of have that kind of synergy with your children. So it's like, okay, daddy at work when it's work time. Then you come home and probably daddy might say, okay, time to get the homework done. It's homework time. But now you have daddy for playtime. Right. So it's not about work, it's not about talking about this and that, but it's just playtime that we could be able to build that kind of bond. And that is so very important. Because just a couple days ago, I was just scrolling through Facebook and I saw this guy put up, fathers, you need to take your sons to the barber shop. And it's not even so much about them just getting a cut, you know, but it's about them going together. Daddy and I, Daddy's taking me for a haircut. That kind of, so it like you feel like, almost like a superhero. Yep. You know, so that building, that bonding time is so very important. I'm sure you've heard it being said many times by children, even wives, mothers, that Daddy's always working. When you ask, I want Daddy to come to this, or I want Daddy to come to my sports day, or that kind of thing. And you say, well, Daddy always busy. Daddy's always working. But if we are to be really honest, that Daddy is working to provide for the children, you know. So sometimes wives and even mothers, even the children, don't understand. But really, the father is doing all of this for you. But my question is, how do you navigate that proper balance with work and family time, especially with the demands of a father, when most times, you know, the fathers will be like the breadwinner of the home? How do you balance?
It's not easy. It's not easy. As I sat here and I'm looking at so many questions I answered before. It is never easy. But I thank God that I had a supportive wife. My wife was so supportive that she pulled up the slack whenever I could not make it.
Right.
Things like PTA.
Yes.
She was there with them. She was very supportive in all areas. She understood. In fact, they all understood that my hours would be long. My hours would be long. And they understood that a sacrifice had to be made. Yeah. You know? But we were able to negotiate, navigate, and come up with the best possible scenarios for each of the cases of the children. Right. Because as you realize, we're talking about 50-something-year-old daughter.
Yes.
As opposed to it's spanned a couple
of course,
decades, right?
Yes.
So my wife was very supportive in that area. She pulled up the slack with me, and we were able to come up with the best. I wanted to say earlier, I didn't see myself as a superhero, as you mentioned, right? But I knew that along the way I would learn. Yes. I would learn, and with the support, as I said, that support system, I can't talk about it enough. That support system helped because I was a learner. I didn't come into this scenario as an expert. Right. But I was learning as I go. Yes. Learning as I go. You know, and I always remember that thing. If I could help somebody, as I passed along, my living wouldn't be in vain. So I learned, and I passed along whatever I learned for the children when their time came. Yes. To be able to navigate the role of parenting even better.
Right. So the balance, proper balance. Work, home, family, recreation, and the whole 9 yards.
Well, as I said before, always a busybody.
Yes.
From ever since. So in time management, I had to increase on my time management skills. Okay. Right? Because besides being a coach and besides working and other working, yes, then I had to deal with the family. Right? So yes, while the bigger son, he understands, or he is understanding that he is busy, right, because he has to work to provide. Yes. It doesn't take away the fact that he wants daddy around.
Of course.
Right? So yes, they understand that you're busy, but I still want you around.
I still, yes.
Right? So in those instances, according to Mr. Richardson, the support system, it works and you have to work with it. Yeah. Right? So while for some meetings you will assess to see where the importance is and show that priority. So if it's like a PTA meeting, if I'm off today, I'll go to a PTA meeting. Okay. Right? But a sports and family day where the child expects you to be there. Yes. Yeah. According to the song Boss. Yeah. Yes. Right? So you have to show that is where your priority lies.
Of course, priority.
You have to prioritize certain things in your life, and family is that main part of it that you have to provide for. So while working to provide for the family,
right,
you still can't neglect the family that you're providing for, right?
Of course.
So that is where that time management and balancing has to come in. Yes. So that's how I did it.
Yeah, but you said something very critical there. While you are busy providing for the family, you cannot neglect the family that you're providing for.
Correct, yeah.
You know, so it's like you have to really find that way. So what I'm hearing is that you have to be, as a parent, as a father, you have to be intentional about ensuring that you put aside time for the family.
Okay.
It may be a nice family trip. It might be a beach lime, a country ride, it's movie night. Okay, the children will pick the movie. Okay, we will get the snacks. You pick the movie tonight, and you just sit for that kind of bonding. But you have to be intentional.
Correct.
You have to put the children as priority, because at the end of the day, you are working hard to provide for these same children, but you want to know them. You want to spend that time with them. So later down, 18 years down the line, you wouldn't be like, okay, this person's a total stranger, because in the meantime, you are learning them while providing. So I know it's a lot for men to juggle. And, you know, sometimes as women, we take some of these things for granted. Because I remember it was International Men's Day a few weeks ago. And I was telling a gentleman, I said, Happy International Men's Day. And he was like, International what? I said, International Men's Day. He said, I don't know anything about that, you know. All I know right now, I have a truck here and I just trying to get it on the boat to provide for my family. That is all I know. And I was like, I felt good that he was so adamant about providing for his children, but I also felt sad that he did not know that it was International Men's Day. So I'm saying that we need to do more to ensure that when these occasions come, we highlight our men more. You know, and I'm a woman, but I'm an advocate for men, because I realize and I recognize the importance of men and the kind of critical role that they play in society. And we have got to come to that recognition and recognize our men more. But we'll talk about that a little later on.
If I could just add quickly on that.
Yes.
I've been in business, catering for Mother's Day and Father's Day over the years.
Yeah.
Mother's Day is always highly celebrated, highly recognized. And Father's Day, I remember sometime asking, when is Father's Day?
Right.
And they say, Sunday coming. I mean, Mother's Day, you know?
Yes.
So we always see a big drop in response for Mother's Day. So I'm glad, as I said, it's being recognized now. And I want to just take hats off to Mr. Fields, who is the president of the Single Fathers Association. I take hats off to him.
Yes.
A pay recognition to him.
He is doing a fantastic job. So Mr. Fields, we know that you have been making such sacrifices over the years. Your efforts are not in vain, and we want to encourage you to keep doing what you are doing, fighting for our men. I salute you today, and happy Father's Day to you. Well, I want to talk about what are some key lessons that you have learned and continue to learn being a father.
Okay, I get it stems from the time I would have spent as a cadet. I spent 5 years as a member of the Tobago Cadet Force. And the key word in that organization is discipline.
Okay.
Discipline.
Yes.
I consider myself a disciplined person. Discipline in terms of time, how you treat time, how you treat, you know. And I try to instill that in my family. I try to instill that. I hope I don't lose sight of the top what you just asked me.
No, that is one of two.
Right. I try to use discipline as a key factor in our family.
Right.
Discipline, respect. Respect. We have a koto, honor and respect thy mother and father and thy days to belong upon the land.
Yes.
It's something I've seen home from my father, my mother and father, and I've put it in our home. So the children have it now, maybe to pass on when they have in their own children.
Yes.
Honor and respect mommy and daddy and their days to belong to the land. So, as I said, that's one of the key things we try to respect for authority, respect for elders.
Yes.
I mean, having come from a family of 11, you'll have that infighting, you'll have that sibling rivalry.
Yes, of course.
And unless you have that instilled in them, listen to your big brother, listen to your big sister.
Yes.
That has always been enforced. And even with my own family now, something that we hold dear to. Right? And let me add here, my eldest, Kimmery, she has always acted the role of a sort of adjudicator.
Okay.
So when there's infighting,
Yes.
she's the adjudicator.
Of course.
And that helped along the way. It helped a lot.
Yes.
Thank you.
Big sisters.
Yes.
Yeah, because I always say, I have a big sister. And, well, she's the eldest. And I said, this girl feels like if she's such in charge, she's in charge of the entire family. Yes, it have mommy and daddy, but she know I always, hi Sandra. She know I always talk about it. Where she's like, yes, but I told you all you need to do this. And I said, listen, you in charge of this family? Yes. So she has that kind of way, but we understand, especially firstborn, and we definitely understand that. So, Mr. Bramble.
Right. So again, some of the key things that you learn and develop over the years, again, Mr. Pointer, Mr. Richardson, discipline, that's the main goal, right? Time management, patience, you have to learn to have the kids respect.
Yes.
So to have that level of respect for persons, not only in home, outside, and even respect yourself. As a child, so even to respect yourself, to know, well, what is right, what is wrong,
Yes.
what is the correct thing to accept from persons.
Right.
So those are things that you learn and you have to teach to them, because
Of course.
when you learn, you have to give it back.
Yes.
Right? It's not just to keep to yourself, you give it back. Right? So besides these things and patience and that lovingness, you have to try to see each person, because each child is different.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Even though I have 2 and Mr. Richardson, he had
7,
right? And you will know that each child is a personality by
Yes.
itself. Right? So you have to now waver to see where and how to deal with each personality.
Yes.
To allow them to feel comfortable, to feel loved in that one household.
Okay.
So that you don't show any
Favoritism.
between each of them.
Yes.
Right? So those are things that you will learn and you have to learn
Yes.
while dealing with kids.
Of course. Yeah, it's not like one brush will paint all.
Correct.
Because children are so different. Yes, you're related, you're my brother, you're my sister, but some children are so totally the opposite of the other. And what you said is so very important, that we have to learn these children, find out, in terms of study them like a book. Mm-hmm. So you would know exactly, because a gentleman was telling me some time ago, he said his mother, somebody came home and complained to the mother that this child, Cindy came and beat me up and she did that. So when the mother heard that, she said, Cindy? You get the wrong child. Not my child, Cindy. If you tell me Sherry beat you up, I'll believe. Because you get the opportunity to spend with your children, so you know which one is the hot-headed one, you know which one is the calm one, you know which one is the peaceful one, you know which one is the, get aggravated quickly and stuff like that. So what you said there, very, very important. Well, Mr. Richardson, I wanted to pose this question to you as it now relates to you having now adult children and creating boundaries. Because now they are actually making their own decisions, raising their own children, but you will still be their father. You are still their father. So how do you, in other words, let go, but you're still daddy?
Mm-hmm. But we spoke about the respect aspect of it. Boundaries, yes. But there's a thing I always say. When it comes to disciplining children, at the time they wouldn't understand the value, why you discipline them. And I remember this quote, they said, children never know how much their parents love them until they begin to have children of their own.
True.
And I say that, and I remember my second, Rhea. You already know the Rhea.
Yes, of
Everyone know
course.
Rhea. Rhea was objecting to certain things that we were doing, mommy and I were doing as she was growing up, until Rhea had her first taste of motherhood.
Yes.
And when she began to share something that she, same things we were trying to instill in her.
Oh, yes.
And her mommy and I just watch each other and laugh.
Of course.
Never see, come see.
Yes.
When you are in the hot seat, you have to instill in getting things done a particular way.
Yeah.
Then you could recognize why mommy and daddy was,
Yes.
so hard.
Yes.
Instilling that you do things this way. So I laugh at it. Even some of the things they said, just have to laugh and say, no, I'm trying to recall my time growing up with my siblings.
Right.
And now having children
Of your
who
own.
having children also. So it's a wide span for me. So if you find me,
Yes, yes.
please forgive me.
Memory
Please
lane, that's right. Well, I think at this time, before we touch on the next issue, we're going to take a short break. All right, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you're wondering where to find top-tier quality tiles and products to refurbish or renovate your wall, floor, or pool, well, your worry is over. Come to D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center, Tobago Local Road, opposite the Bonnecourt Primary School, Tobago, where you will find porcelain, mosaic, and ceramic tiles of the highest quality guaranteed. D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center also stocks thinset, grout, tile cutters, and yes, windows. Plus, a friendly smile and service that's second to none awaits you. So forget the hassle and get all the quality tiles you need right here in Tobago at D-Cell's Tile and Ceiling Center. Call us today at 460-8802, 639-8281. Opens Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m.
Hi, I am Dianne, host of Transforming Lives One at a Time, and I would like to introduce you to our brand new segment, Good Vibes, Good News. And this is where you have the opportunity to highlight your good vibes, good news with us. You could send your 90-second video to our WhatsApp number 1-868-701-2099. That's 1-868-701-2099. Let's hear some of the good news that we never hear about. Good vibes, good news, inspiring hope, celebrating wins, truly grateful.
NSL School and Office Supplies for all your school uniforms, textbooks, stationery, and craft supplies. Located obliquely opposite Stumpy's Bypass, Canaan. Also offering printing, photocopying, and much more. Give them a call today, 615-6595, 477-5905, or email them at nslbookstore@gmail.com.
Welcome back to the program, Men Influencing Men, the Father's Day edition. Well, gentlemen, it's important because we cannot be naive that being a responsible father is a walk in the park. Some days obviously will be stressful. Things may not be working out as anticipated. A deal may not have gone through. You may have had a rough day at work, whatever. And I want us to talk about some of the low points and challenges that you would have encountered in your journey as a father. And what was your resolve?
Well, I thank God for my wife, Joan, deceased. She has always been a tower of strength for me. I recall times when I would have gotten angry, maybe blow my top. But this one particular time, I remember I got angry with one of my sons. I won't call his name. And I was ready to blow my top. Yeah. I said, she held me back, say, Elton, wait, stop. You ever hear any of your children getting involved in activity where police have to come in? And she started to talk that way. Yeah. And you could actually feel the thermometer going down.
Wow.
She cited areas that you would have that might be common at the time with other parents and so on having difficulty with children. And I began to count my blessings one by one. And what do you say? I boiled along like Baji.
Yes.
And I started, it was a rebuke that was needed. And I started to thank God for even for whatever it is, whatever they have done. It caused me to understand the importance of tolerance and,
Yeah.
And I changed my approach. My wife was the kind of support that wasn't loud, wasn't banging the door.
Right.
It was there, quiet, subtle, but effective.
Yes.
So, and then too, I must say this to him. We're talking about a time when what we have going on today, the new millennium, the Gen Z, the different generation that we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
I thank God because I said to myself recently, I don't think I could have survived
In this
starting to raise children at this day and age.
Yeah.
I could not.
Yeah.
My mindset was different,
Yes.
I couldn't survive. So I thank God for her support. I thank God for her pulling me down, at times pulling me down to earth,
Yes.
where I would not just,
Explode.
explode. Yes.
Wow. Well, you are now dealing with the new generation children.
Correct. Right? And in a nutshell, and it's so, if you want to put it coincidental or fortunate, that this month is actually Men's Mental Health Month.
Right.
Right? So I'm not sure if it was a planned occurrence.
Yes.
Right? But fatherhood is not easy.
Yeah.
Right? In no way, no fashion, no form, fatherhood is easy. Right? From being a provider, from being a teacher,
Yeah.
from being the one who had to carry the child to go and get the injection because, mommy ain't doing that.
Yes.
So you had to hold that child hand. And all these different things that would help or go through where the father has to go through. And no one really sees what goes on in the background of the father.
Yeah.
So he has to go to work, he has to provide, he has to do this, he has to do that, make all the errands, do this, do that.
Yes.
And sometimes persons don't check on that person,
Right.
but they expect him to check on everyone else because he's the one to keep the family in gear,
Correct.
right? To keep that motion in the family, to keep the unit. So who is keeping him in it?
Yes.
Right? So I guess Mental Health Month is a very good time for Father's Day, right? But in, not to say no regard, it's not a walk in the park. So men need to take time to, so quote unquote, distress,
Yeah.
right? Because after all these things are said and done, you still have little ones looking up to you.
Right.
You still, according to Mr. Richardson, you can't blow it up.
Exactly.
Because that's what they're going to see.
Yes.
They are going to see that, right? And challenges will come, and coping with the challenges is what we have to do,
Yes.
right? So to help everything in the family, in the family setting,
Right.
to ease off, in a sense, to make everything go smooth.
Yes.
You have, as a man, as a person, not only men, because women go through it too,
Of
as a
course.
person,
Yes.
you have to learn to deal with these situations. If you had to talk to somebody, you talk to a pastor, talk to a friend, talk to a co-worker,
Right.
talk to somebody who
Yes.
you trust to help you deal with whatever situations that you're dealing with. That is important as a man, because
course.
I guarantee you, challenges, they come and they are
Yes.
continually going to come.
Of
So you have to
course.
deal with the challenges as they come along.
Of course. And as you spoke about that, I remembered something even the president of the Single Fathers Association, Mr. Rundle Fields, spoke about. He said many times, as women and generally as society, we don't look to see where our men really need the support. We don't look at the area. Sometimes you just turn a blind eye. You may see something in the papers or on social media and you just come up with your own conclusion, but you never know what that man was going through at the time. You never know how many years he endured that. You never know what was his thought patterns like at the time that this happened. So I'm saying that we need that support. We need more support for men because, as you rightfully said, many times we check on the ladies, we check on the women. For example, a woman might have had a miscarriage, and persons would be like, oh my gosh, all the attention will be placed on her. But there's also a father grieving. There's also a man grieving. And we need to understand that, yes, we believe that our men are so strong and mighty and nothing could hurt them. But we do things many times to hurt our men that many times we're not even aware of because they may not say anything. So we hurt our men by sometimes just our attitudes, just by some of the words we say, just our actions, how we treat our men with scant courtesy at times. And I mean, this program, you all know that this program is real. I say it as it is. All right, I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm saying that we need to support our men more. And not just because it's Father's Day, but all through the years. We need to support our men more. I want to touch on quickly the shared responsibility between mother and father and how critical it is to decide early about the parenting approach that you will adopt. Just give your thoughts on this so that the both of you will be on the same page.
Yeah, I think that's important. First of all, my wife and I, we never made a habit of disagreeing with each other in front of the children.
There we go.
We were always on the same page. If I said, take that bottle of water and do so, and it's a wrong move, she will reinforce, that's what your daddy said, you do it.
Yes.
In cadets, we learn, comply and then complain.
Right.
Even though a superior officer gives a wrong command to a junior officer, he must obey, even though it turns out to be the wrong thing, because you want to instill that unified authority.
Yes.
So my wife and I were both in sync with that is concerned. We agreed that we would not be arguing in front of the children. We would be on one front, you do what daddy say, do what mommy say.
Right.
And you have some parents, if a child does something wrong, the mother will say, hey, behave yourself, because when your father comes, he will deal with you.
Yes.
That in itself sends us sort of a mixed message as to who is the disciplinarian and who is the soft one, who's one I can get away with. We try to avoid that.
Okay.
So we were in sync when it comes to disciplining the children. I hope I answered that question.
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
You did. Yes, Mr. Bramble.
Well, a little bit more on that. By nature, women are nurturers.
Yes.
Men are ideal or ideological thinkers.
Yes.
Right, so they are assessed and they work out scenarios and how to deal with situations. Right, so whereas those two entities come together to parent the child, it is important to see where the ground is, to see, okay, who does what and who does the other.
Okay.
Right? And sometimes some of the kids, they know where to lean on, so they know how to push the buttons on that.
Yes.
It's like, okay, mommy's not more the disciplinarian. She ain't gonna beat me until something serious take place. So here, I go push,
Correct.
right up to the edge, and I go stop.
Yes. You give them an inch, they will take a yard.
They take in the yard and go with it. They might even extend the yardstick. Right? So it is important, as along with what Mr. Richardson said.
Yes.
It is always important that the kids don't see the parents arguing or in any sort of disagreements.
Right.
Because then they would see that there's a rift between the parents and instructor.
Yes.
And they would work on that.
Of course.
Right? They would tend to go to the side that they would get away with.
Yes.
Right? So they lean on that side. So when both parents are in one accord or agreeance, then they don't know where to go.
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
them like,
yes.
If I go by mommy, she could tell me so. If I go by daddy, she could tell me so. And it happens sometimes.
Of course.
My come and say, when my son might come and say, I want this snack. I was like, I said, no, you can't get this snack.
Right.
Then I say, take this snack and you run it in.
Yes. He went and asked mommy.
Mommy, I can get this snack. Like, no, daddy said, no, I can't get this done.
Yes, yes.
So he come back out and he cry. I said, so this is where it is. So once parents keep that bond or that unity,
Yes.
it helps the disciplinary or the discipline of the child,
Yes.
and the structure of the home will a little more smooth.
Of course, definitely. I totally agree. These children, they know how to push your buttons, I'm telling you. Well, it will be remiss of me if I did not put a plug in here for our fathers and, of course, our menfolk. To those who are doing a really fantastic job, you know, committed and providing and just providing all the needs for your children, I want to say, hats off to you. You're doing a fantastic job. Keep up the good work. I also want to speak highly about our single fathers who are doing the job alone. You know, you're just doing that job alone, but you are just as committed. You may not have that kind of extra support system, but you know exactly what you need to do, and you are doing it. I want to encourage you to continue doing it. You have challenges. Challenges will come, but you keep pushing because you know what you want to see at the end of the day. To those fathers who are making an effort to step up, I want to encourage you to continue making that effort. You may not get it totally right as yet, but continue making that effort, because your role in your children's lives are pivotal to their growth and development. You don't just want them to exist, but you want them to be able to thrive. To those men who have not been stepping up, because I'm taking everybody, those men who have not been stepping up, you have been absent, and you are viewing this program at this time, I want to make a clarion call to you to be a part of your children's life. Everything may not be favorable. You understand? The mummies may not even want to see you, but make an effort. Forget the past and push forward. Let this be a new chapter in your life. Your offsprings are dependent on you. You know, we are almost reaching wrap-up time, but I want to drop this into the mix as it relates to Father's Day gifts. And I know a lot of persons might be giggling about this and stuff, but a lot of fathers would often say time and time again that they own, when it's Father's Day, and you alluded to that a little earlier, when it's Father's Day, you get socks, you get ties, and you get small garments. I'm just going to say small garments. Small garments, socks, ties. And quite frankly, they are tired of it. Right? I know that you all may not want to say anything, but I'm speaking on behalf of the men today. This is the men's edition. All right? So do you think it's time to have the conversation with mother and children to step up that? We want better gifts. Come on. This is your opportunity, men, to shine, okay?
Yeah, well,
don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
The ball was throwing my court.
Don't be afraid. I'll protect you.
The ball was throwing my court. So as a sportsman, I will take the opportunity to play. Right? No, in observing, when you pass for Mother's Day, for Valentine's Day, especially around Tobago, around the town.
Yes.
About 3 weeks, you see teddy bears, you see roses, you see gift baskets. All you can't go no corner in Scarborough and not see a gift basket set up. Right? No, I don't think there's a gift basket in Scarborough.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So, yes, we know how the difference is.
Yes.
And yeah, the men go out of the way,
yes,
to make sure that the women are treated in a certain particular way, and that that affection, that love is shown.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if it is the fact where women think, I don't know what he wants, but I see he undergarments, get a whole day, you know. I got buy socks, I got buy a little perfume.
Right.
I'll go safe.
Right.
But
time to step up.
Men like nice things.
Of course.
Men
because
like
I was thinking, pedicure, men go to pedicure too, you know.
Men do pedicures,
they go and get their facials done.
They go and get massages.
They go to Magdalena,
they do
and this is not a plug really. Well, okay, Magdalena, take the plug. But they go to Magdalena for dinner and for lunch and stuff. You can get a flat screen TV for their man cave. You could send them to Barbados for a weekend. All these. So ladies, we want to step up. We want to step up and just show more appreciation. And another thing, do not ask your father for money to buy him a Father's Day gift. All right? Another gentleman told me that. He said, they're asking us for money to buy a gift for us. And when it's Mother's Day, they're coming to us again. So mothers, you need to step up here. And I know I might get plenty of licks of this program, you know, but guys, I have your protection, including my cameraman here. I have your protection, all right? So we want to step up. We definitely want to step up. Well, as we begin to wrap up the program right now, I want to take the opportunity for you to just share a quick word of encouragement to a man, a father who may be viewing the program at this point, and they may be a little discouraged, they may be disheartened, maybe they haven't seen their child in a while, and you know, they just had a rough time and things just haven't been working out. Just give a short word of encouragement as we bring the curtains down of the program today.
Let me first of all recognize the persons in my life who would have helped to support me in that area. First, I want to mention my pastor, Pastor Ernest Alexander, who has been like a father to me in many ways, responsible for my spiritual life. And I want to take hats off to my sons who've operated as ideal fathers in the spirit of godliness, who would have, used that godly wisdom in whatever they do. I want to thank God for them. I want to encourage them. I want to say quickly here that the journey of fatherhood is not a precise science. It's one of those things you learn as you go, like driving. When you start to drive, when you get your driver's license, you're not a professional. You're just licensed to drive. You're licensed to learn to drive. And as you continue, you learn along the way. It's the same with fatherhood. As you begin that first step, you learn and you must be willing to learn. You must be willing to take instruction and learn from others. Learn from the mistakes that you have made and other people would have made. Mistakes are very important in life.
Yes.
Mistakes are important, so we learn as we go along. So I want to thank God for that mental approach to fatherhood, that we learn from each other, we encourage each other. I am, as I said, I'm down here long.
Yes.
And I'm still learning, so I thank God for that. Right? So that's my encouragement. Let God guide you in whatever decisions you make. Seek godly advice in whatever you do.
Yes.
And I thank God for blessing me with people around me who would encourage me, who would correct me when I'm wrong. Yes, boy, you're doing good,
yes,
or you're not doing good, as the case may be. Thank you.
Yes. So a word of advice.
Well, my advice to fathers or persons who going into fatherhood, as Mr. Richardson said, fatherhood is not an easy thing. It is a learning experience. Day by day you learn, day by day you grow. And it is important to show your child or children that you are there to support them in whatever way possible. No family setting is perfect. Yes, you would want the perfect scenario, but most times it is not perfect, especially in this day and age, right? So even if that you are not living with the kids, still make the effort, still make the attempt to go spend time, even if it's the weekend, if it's to get them to the park, get them to a movie, get them for something where the kids could see that daddy is interested in me, daddy loves me, daddy wants to be a part of my life.
Right.
Even if you and the mother, they're not working out, your goal or your main objective is the child as a father, right? So take time, work with the child, because the nation is now in a state of it's a bad state, I would put it that way. Don't put it that way. A bad state, right? And we can see that the parenting system, in some parts, it's failing, and sometimes, or most times, because it's absent father.
Yes.
Fathers are there to help to impart discipline, impart knowledge, and impart that mental and that physical strength to the child.
That's right.
With an absent father, that part is out the door and is trying to leave that part for the mother. Yes. As I said before, mothers and fathers, they have two different distinct roles. Mothers are nurturer, and the father is a provider, teacher.
Yes.
If you're not there to help provide and teach, then what is the child going to learn?
Wow.
From someone on the streets.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So if you don't, as a man, step up to do your manly duties, then don't be upset when someone else does it for you.
Right.
That's my advice.
Thank you very much. Well, I want to thank my guests today, Mr. Elton Richardson and Mr. Jelani Bramble, for being a part of this program, Men Influencing Men, the Father's Day edition. I want to wish you both all the best in your future endeavors. Again, happy Father's Day, and happy Father's Day to all our men folk in Trinidad and Tobago, and of course, worldwide. We love you and we appreciate you. Well, this is where we wrap it up today for Transforming Lives One at a Time. Feel free to check out our social media platforms. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, TikTok. All right, feel free to check and like, share, comment as we continue to take this message far and wide. It's about time that we have positive things going viral. We have enough negatives. We need more positive influences going viral. Remember, I'm your friendly host, Dianne, and I leave you, of course, as usual, with the definition of transformation, which is an internal shift that brings us into alignment with our fullest potential. Hey, we've got this. See you next time.